And what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It is your boy Cheap Loots, and I'm back from the depths of my depressing pack opening to talk about the market. So, as you guys know, Retro 2K Volume 3 dropped today, giving everyone, for whatever reason, hope that they were going to pull Dark Matter, Onyx, Derrick Rose, but no one ended up doing that. So, before we get started, man, if you're new to the channel, subscribe. I literally drop 2K content all day, every day. So, in addition to that, we got Limited out, we got Throwback Moments packs and Retro 2K packs as prizes in Limited. If you guys are not aware, they'll show up more as prizes after you pull the ring, just in case you guys are wondering. So, the market is interesting right now. Like, it's down for sure. I can tell a lot of people are trying to get this Derrick Rose, or just spending MT on like Curry or whatever. Also, having both retro packs and some Throwback Moments packs into the market is definitely helping out, so I'm going to go into every card here. Penny Hardaway, you can give her basically discard value. I talked about him a little bit in my pack opening, so go check that out if you haven't. I mean, he's okay. Like, he's very good for offline challenges and like TTO and stuff. Definitely worth picking up because he's going for like 800 MT. You can pick him up using for some Phoenix Suns based challenges later. It's not a bad investment by any means, but this card inherently isn't very good. I mean, he's elite at attacking the rim, but that's about it. I mean, he doesn't really play defense. He can't really shoot, which if you're playing on HOF difficulty, he'll work just fine, especially if you're up high in those TTO boards. But that's about all I can recommend for this card. But like I said, pick him up for the challenges. 800 MT, it's not really that big of a deal. He's not great. He's not terrible. It's Penny Hardaway. You kind of know what to expect at this point from him. I just have fond memories with this card from back in 2K18, so it's pretty cool. Levine is one of the most complete amethyst shooting guards in the game. He can pretty much do it all. He lacks a couple important badges, but other than that, you can pick him up for like 4 or 5K. You're going to run into him a lot on Limited, so it's probably not a terrible idea to have one of your own. Just because, I mean, as far as amethyst shooting guards go, there's just not very many. Like, Levine's probably the apex. He's one of the best, if not the best. Great badges, Showtime, Quick First Step, finishing badges. He's got great shooting badges, defensive badges, solid gold range. He only has Silver Hot Zone Hunter, but for 3K you can upgrade that to gold if you want. Dimer is probably something I would give him. Heart Crusher, Interceptor, Intimidator. So like I said, he lacks a little bit on the badge front. He doesn't have Unpluckable, which sucks. I hate how they keep not giving cards Unpluckable because you can't buy Unpluckable. It's like super annoying. But worth the 4K. Baron Davis is a card that is going for basically discard value as well. You can pick him up for like 1500 MT. A completely worthwhile 1500 MT. He's actually pretty good. I mean, he's about as good as the Opal that came out. The Opal's better, but roughly. But he's going to be good for the future. Any Hornets-based challenges are going to be infinitely more easy if you have him. So I've been playing with Klay Thompson all day, and I can say that looks like they have fixed the Klay Thompson glitch so he doesn't go and guard the center, which is cool, at least in my opinion, in my experience. That being said, that has caused his price to go up a little bit, but you can still look at how many Klay Thompsons there are. This is how garbage these packs are. Like, look at... Dude, I've been scrolling for like 30 seconds, and I'm only at 12 minutes remaining. So you could pick up Klay Thompson for like 10, 15K. Probably even less at this point. Like, that's what I was selling him for a little while ago. It was like 15 to 18. He's the most complete Diamond 2 guard available. He's better than a majority of Pink Diamond 2 guards, in my opinion. At least from like a 3-and-D cone perspective. He can still attack the rim a little bit, but you're just going to be shooting threes and playing defense with Klay Thompson. That's what he does. That's what you'll be doing. Interceptor is something obviously you'd want to add to him, but he's pretty complete immediately. If you're on next gen, obviously a steady shooter or blinders, you definitely want to give to him. It just makes a lot of sense for him. But Klay Thompson, I think, like, for his price, is probably one of the best cards out there. Him and Dale Ellis, like, and Andre Karolinko. I don't even care. I know he's outdated, but he's still so good. Russell Westbrook, you can get for, like, as close to discard value as I've seen at Diamond go. Like, I've seen Russell Westbrook's go for, like, 4K today. And to be honest, if you're looking for a point guard at that price range, I don't know if there's necessarily a better one than Russell Westbrook. I don't think there is. He doesn't really fit everyone's playstyle, but if you're new to the game, you can score a lot by just holding turbo and pressing X towards the basket. Like, Russell Westbrook will score a lot, especially on current gen where rim running's fake. Russell Westbrook's nice. He's lacking some shooting badges too, but against the CPU, if that's what you're going to be grinding mostly, Russell Westbrook works just fine. Karl Anthony Towns is tough. Some people like him a lot, some people do not, so he's a hard card to really recommend. I do love the card art though, but you can get him for relatively cheap. The only issue I have with Karl Anthony Towns is he has a low ball handle, and I like to run point forward and point center, so if that's something you enjoy doing, Karl Anthony Towns isn't really the card for you. If you're looking for more of like I was going to say 3-and-D, but he's not that great defensively, but like a catch and shoot kind of big man, then Karl Anthony Towns for his price is elite. Like, he's one of the best available, especially for like 30K. There's just not very many good ones at that price point. So definitely a card I recommend for a lot of like budget players, and because he can compete with the more elite big men in the game. He's got good speed, he's just not going to be able to handle the ball really, which is like a problem for me, but I know a lot of people don't use their big men like that. And if that's the case, this dude is perfect for you. Difficult shots isn't really necessary, but you can put it on him. Lightning reflexes helps a lot. Space creator, clutch shooter, blinders if you're on next gen, and deep fades for sure. Deep fades I definitely recommend putting on, because he's actually really good in the post, surprisingly. So definitely something that'll help him out a little bit. Now let's talk about Draymond. I haven't picked up Draymond yet. I've picked up all the lower tiered cards for this set to try him out. Draymond I haven't picked up, mainly because I'm not going to use him in my squad anyway. Just because I have too many options that I like already. I might pick him up if I end up selling Dirk, which I think I'm going to. Then I'll probably use him, but I have like Wes Unseld, who's just significantly better Draymond Green. They're even the same height. Now, the one thing I will say about Draymond is with that 89 offensive overall, 99 defensive overall, he actually helps your overall. So if you're trying to lower overall cheese and like manipulate your overall in some way, Draymond's actually a very good card for that. He's got 24 Hoff badges, 31 golds. Those overall manipulations are the way to go. Like, you can get matched up with way worse cards using Draymond, so I think that has a lot to do with why he's still really expensive. That, and I'm guessing like the hype videos have been out like heavy. He's a great card, don't get me wrong. He's got the same jump shot as Crocier, so if you liked Austin Crocier, you're gonna like Draymond. If you are debating whether to spend this amount on Draymond, go pick up Austin Crocier for like $1,500. Start shooting around with him, see how you like it, because he even kind of feels the same too. And then based on that, that's when you really want to make that decision. Hedo Turcaloo, alright man, like, I've been seeing a lot of slander for this card, and I did end up picking him up for like 105K, which was probably too much. He's probably going to be buy it now by the end of tonight. But I didn't want to wait. Here's the thing. There's been so much vocal outcry about this Hedo's card, about how they ruined his jump shot. I don't really think it's a matter of if, I think it's when 2K changes his jumper. I would be willing to say any bet I would say is they give him base 29 or XM base within the next 48 hours. I'm betting on that by picking him up at 100, and hopefully I can sell him back for more. Granted, I like Hedo, so if they end up, if they give him like the same jump shot as Antoine Jameson, I'll probably keep him. But that being said, his jump shot right now is not that bad. Like, it's very easy to green. It's just slow and kind of awkward. I don't know what they did to Aldridge base this year. It was gross. Scottie Pippen's going to be the most elite 3-and-D wing in this entire game. If that's what you're looking for, 200K for Scottie's nothing. That's definitely worth it. He's the best defender in the game. I think he's better than Opal Kawhi. Steph Curry, if you're a Curry fan, this is your card. You can get him for around 150K, probably cheaper by the end of tonight. But Derrick Rose. I don't necessarily think Derrick Rose is really worth it. Just with the way, I don't know, if you're a big Derrick Rose fan, like, he's going to be the best rim running point guard in the game. 39 Hoff badges, 18 golds. Like, he's going to be elite. I just don't know if he's worth 500K at this point. I don't think any Dark Matters are, personally. I'm just going to stick with Opals for the time being and Pink Diamonds. But speaking of which, if you have been looking at Opal Giannis, he is back in packs and limited. So he's going to be a little bit cheaper. That, and everyone's panic selling all of their cards. So you're going to be able to pick up Giannis for not incredibly cheap, but around 60 to 70k, which is a good price for this card. Like, this card is still very usable in 2k. That, and for around that 70 or so k, like, you can find one with unlimited shoes, Kobe Grinches, etc., like unlimited contracts. Like, this one's 90k with an unlimited shoe and unlimited contract. That extra 10k for that unlimited contract card is probably worth it, because you'll end up making it back by just not having to use contracts. So it's probably worth it. If you're big on Giannis, this is a good time to get at that. Lonzo Ball's really cheap too, so if you're looking for a point guard and you're in the, let's say, 40 to 50k range is what you're willing to spend on a point guard, Lonzo Ball is probably the best possible option for you. Still an incredible point guard. Like, I'm not the biggest fan of this card, personally, but I recognize that he is really good for a lot of people. I still think he's better than at least a good portion of the Opal point guards. For 40k, you can't go wrong. Jordan, I think, will be by it now by the end of tonight. I think a lot of people are panic selling their Jordans. So you could probably get him. I don't think you'll be able to get him for like 80, but you could get him right at 100k if you want him. This Steph Curry, if you're a newer player, he works so well against the Hall of Fame, or not even Hall of Fame CPU, just the CPU in general. You can pick him up for like 15k. Paul George is down in price. If he goes down to around 50k, I'm probably going to pick him up just to lock in this set for the 200 tokens, so I can be in a good position to get, you know, the reward market guys next season. Penny Hardaway is ridiculously cheap. Like, you can get him for 20, 30k. I'll spend 100k for 200 tokens. That's fine. Like, I'm not worried about it. Like I said, a bunch of these guys are cheap. You're not going to see a bunch of these dudes flood the market, but you can see some of them. And honestly, I don't think you should, but if you really want to lock in for Opal Clay, you can do it for significantly cheaper now than you could before. Like, it's not even a question. I might pick up Ben Gordon for this last Spotlight Sims. I'm almost done with Spotlight Sims. I just need 10 Bulls players. I get Brandon Roy, then I can go do the John Wall ones. I'm excited. Reggie Theus works totally fine, though. I like Reggie Theus a lot. Stackhouse is stupid cheap. If you got some Piston challenges you need to do, or some Pacers ones, TJ Warren's actually not that bad either. But yeah, Bradley Beal, I mean, he's still a little expensive. We're not getting another Beal card for a little bit, so he'll retain his value, at least in my opinion. I want my man Steve Francis to go down in price. That'd be great. I just like Steve Francis a lot. Marcus Stahl is still like a premier big man in this game, and if he drops too hard, I know people say he sucks and he's the same as the Amethyst. Somebody said that in my tier list. That's just not accurate. Like, he's not. He's better. I mean, the Amethyst has 40 badges. That one has significantly more, like 50 something. As far as quantum cards go, like, a lot of these guys are way cheaper. Like, Luka's come down about 40k. Durant's about the same. Shaq, nobody's really buying Shaq, so if you're looking for Shaq, you can get him for right around 100k today. He's been about that, though. Hero cards, they're all, I mean, about what you'd expect them to be. Magic Johnson is ridiculously cheap, though. Like, I'm not even selling Magic Johnson because I just don't think it's worth getting rid of him for 100k. I don't know, man. Comment down below what you think about that, but Magic is too helpful for Spotlight Sims for me to get rid of him for just 100k. Dirk, still going for about 200. I mean, if you have any of these cards and you're not locking in for the sets, unless you're keeping them for the artwork, then that's cool. But if you have them and you're wondering when to sell, it's tough to say. I mean, I would probably this upcoming week, when we get the final lock-in and people really start to understand what those coaches do, they'll start to pay way, way, way more for these cards. So I'm going to hold off on selling any of the ones I have until people start to get those coaches and they start to see like the actual difference they make. Then I'm going to sell them off. Zion's still stupidly expensive. A lot of the high tier cards are down in price too. Like Harden's down a little bit. Dirk's going for about the same. He's still going for 200, probably a little bit more. I'm probably going to sell my Dirk relatively soon, just because I have big men that I use instead of him, and honestly, I want to get the most return. If you're looking for an Opal point guard just because you want an Opal point guard, and you like Dwayne Wade, Juan Carlos Navarro is actually pretty solid. I know he doesn't have Curry slide, blah, 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 but he's still a really good point guard. Especially if you're not a big dribbler. If you're not a big dribbler, Juan Carlos Navarro is great. If you're somebody like me who just does like 1 or 2 little step backs and shoots a bunch of threes, Juan Carlos Navarro is perfect, man. AKA you're trash like I am. So, I mean, like I said, bunch of cards are down. Any card that you can think of is going to be down. Even these cards are down, though I'd still wait to pick any of these guys up. But if you're struggling to finish any of the Pelicans challenges, $26K for Brandon Ingram is definitely a small price to pay. 24, really, really good card, and not very many Pelicans out there. I'd rather pick him up for 24K than spend 50K on Buddy Hield for whatever reason. A lot of these cards are cheaper, but I'd still wait. I guarantee we get Super Packs Tuesday for Moments. I'm not even kidding, or Monday. There's no way we don't get Moment Super Packs. Like, let me just tell you that. 2K never misses an opportunity to give out a predatory VC-only Super Pack, and they're not going to miss it this time. But if you want to lock in for tokens, you can always wait. But a lot of these guys are down right now, so it's probably not a terrible idea. But I recommend having at least 750 tokens in the bank for the start of Season 6. If you can, if you're up at the Opal tier, or at least try to get to the Opal tier, because I know they're going to drop a few Opal cards this time, so you're going to want at least one of them. But definitely watch out for that Hedo jump shot change, because I'm willing to bet they're going to do it in the next 24 to 48 hours. So I will be back with a limited tips video here soon. As always, I appreciate you guys for watching the channel. Check my description for all my stuff, and I'll be back, man. Peace.